Guys, we just moved into the new apartment, and I also just happened to have made $80,000 in cash in the past 2 weeks. Now, how does somebody that was shy, depressed, how does a shy Asian guy go make that much money? That's what I'm gonna cover. And if you have any sort of limitations in your life, I want you for a second in this video, just put it aside. Put it aside for now and see the possibility of what can happen if you do the right things. Because I promise you, if you decide to actually watch this entire video and implement the things that I'm going to share with you, you can make a lot of money. I am no different. All right? I am no different. If you guys go back, and I highly encourage you guys, go back to my YouTube, go to my oldest videos and sort by the oldest. You guys will see I documented my entire journey. I talked different. I acted different. I didn't have any idea. My bank account was completely different back then, all right? I was in overdraft fees. All right? There's so many times in my life where I was getting hit with the overdraft fees, and I was depressed. I was smoking weed every day. I was drinking alcohol. I had a DUI. I was addicted to freaking a lot of drugs, shoplifting. 6 years ago. And I was depressed and anxious all the time, right? I had so much trouble even raising my hand in class, okay? And so you can see that, and you can see the very first video that I had on my YouTube where I really wanted to change, and you could see it. I made decisions. I made a few key decisions, all right? One is I dropped out of college. I decided to drop out so that I can pursue online business. It was almost like God was telling me, hey, this is the path for you, like go take it. And so I dropped out of college. That was the very first step. I betted on myself. And that led me down to an entire series, the past 5 or 6 years, of me reinventing my life, reinventing this person right here. All right, so the very first thing I have for you guys that I need you to do, if you want to make a lot of money, right? You're tired of being broke, you're tired of not having enough money in your bank account, all right? I know that feeling. I was there even a year ago, 2 years ago, all right? And I was definitely there for the most of my life, right? Coming from Asian immigrants, my parents don't have money, all right? My parents don't have money. It's up to me to make the money to give to them, right? Because they sacrificed what they had in Korea to come down here to give me a life. And so what you need to understand, brother, is that the very first step for you to pay back, all right, and make some money, is you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you a story, all right? When I was in high school, I was that kid in class, all right? You guys all know this kid. Didn't talk to anybody, all right? It almost looked like if you talked to me, I would break, right? I would break and you would need to take me to the hospital, right? So like people were afraid to talk to me because I was afraid to even speak, all right? And the thing is, I wasn't always this way, right? I wasn't always this way. I think it was, middle school was traumatizing for me, right? And then that bled into high school, and I had this big insecurity that I was carrying around, and like a big weight on my shoulders. And so I just became very anxious and shy. And there came a point, so I graduated high school, and I was still hanging around with the wrong people. And I told myself, Caleb, if you keep doing this, you keep going down this route, guess what? You, in 5 years, you're going to be in a very bad position in life. And I had that realization. And I knew that, the turning point for me, and listen, this is going to be a turning point for you. When you realize that your life isn't going to become better, you realize that if you don't make any changes, that you're going to be in the same spot that you were next year, and for 5 years, and for 10 years. We make this false narrative in our head that time will save us. Listen, bro, time is not going to save you. Time is not going to save you. Your friends are not going to save you. Your family is not going to save you. The only person that's going to save yourself is you. And the moment that I realized that, everything in my life, me being anxious, me being depressed, me being broke, having $5 in my bank account, going into overdraft, that the only person that was going to get me out of that situation was going to be myself. That right there, that clicked. And when it clicked, I became a different man. And so what I want you to do is sit down, get a journal, and actually contemplate where you're going to be in life if you don't make a change. Because brother, if you don't make a change, you're going to maybe go downhill and you're going to get into a worse spot. And I don't want that for you. So this might seem negative, but it's the best thing that you could ever do. You need to evaluate the cost of you not making a change. And when that cost, when that pain is so high, and it's higher than the uncomfortable act of changing, that's when you change. That's when you change. And I'm doing this in every part of my life right now. Just today. All right, listen, I went to a cafe, and I'm into Asian girls, right? Before, 5-6 years ago, if I had to go approach a girl that I thought was attractive in person in daylight with no drinks, completely sober, boy, listen, I would have ran away. I was walking down the street, and in a store in Urban Outfitters, there was this beautiful lady. She was Asian, and I was like, man, I got to go up. And so I could have just kept walking, had this uncomfortable feeling, and said, hey, you know what, this is too uncomfortable. Guess what? The cost of me not having better relationships in my life is higher than me being uncomfortable by approaching. And so I walk in and I approach. Right? And yes, it was a little bit awkward at first, right? I'm not this like smooth guy, every time in every conversation. So a little bit awkward. Guess what she said? She said, hey, thank you. Thank you. This is the first time this actually happened to me. I came up to her, I said, hey, listen, I know this is random. I just thought you were gorgeous. And her face lit up. And she said, this is the very first time this has happened to me. And I made her day. And we exchanged contacts, and we're gonna grab dinner, right? That is creating opportunity, okay? This is a skill. It's not, you're born with it. Guys, this is coming from somebody that was shy and depressed as an Asian kid. Go back to my old videos. I have everything documented. All right, you can change. Bro, don't tell yourself a lie that you can't change. You can change. Trust me. All right, so that's the number one thing. Do something that you find uncomfortable and do it. Do it and you'll have freedom at the other side of that. All right, it's waiting for you. All of what you want in life is waiting for you on the other side of getting outside of your comfort zone. All right, so that's number one. Number two, invest into skills. All right, invest in skills. Guys, I'm 26 years old. I'm gonna make 2, 3, 4 times more than a doctor at the age 26. And I'm not saying this to brag, okay? Listen, again, go back to my old YouTube videos. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't communicate like this. I wasn't this confident. I definitely did not have the money that I have now in my bank account. And I say that, again, out of conviction that anybody can change. Guys, I don't post videos like this. Listen, I don't post videos like this to brag, all right? I want to inspire you. I have nothing to sell you. Nothing to sell you. I just want you to know that you can change because I've done it. All right, so you have to, if you want to make more money, listen, you can save money, right? You can save, not get a nice apartment. You can save and try to, cut back on eating out. Personally, I like doing those stuff. I like having a nice apartment. I like going out, right? Going on a nice date, having a nice dinner, being able to take care of my family. I like spending money on things that make me happy. And so the goal to do that, if you want to get to that point, is you need to be so good at your skills and making, what is money? All right, let me tell you what money is. Money is adding value to the world, right? The more value that you are to others in business, the more valuable you are, the more you get paid. So if you want to become more valuable, how do you do that? Well, you invest into skills. No one wants to have somebody on their team that's not skilled, right? You need to bring your skills to the table. And when we're talking about business, listen, I'll just point out the ones that you need to learn, all right? Number one, sales. Learn sales, for sure. Number two, learn marketing. Learn persuasion. Learn psychology. Learn how people think. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to portray yourself. Learn how to think, all right? And then learn business. learn business. There's great people out there. There's Hermosi, there's Cole Gordon, there's so many people in the online space, legit people who can teach you, right? And that's the purpose of what I'm trying to do here. So find somebody that you can learn from, invest, right? The very first investment I made in myself was into a program. It costed $15,000, and I did it because I knew if I invested my money into this program, that I would have the skills and I'd become the person that can make a lot more money in the future. And now here we are 2-3 years later, okay? So invest in yourself and invest into skills. Become more valuable as a man. Number 3, and this is the very last one, check yourself with who you surround yourself with. Who are your friends? Right? Show me your friends. Show me your friends and I know how much money you make, all right? I used to think that, I could still hang around people and expect to somehow get to the next level, right? Listen, right now, we're about 7 figures, right? We're multiple 7 figures. If I want to get to 8 figures, if I just keep hanging around people in this level, and I don't try to surround myself with new people, new environments who are doing more, it's osmosis. As humans, we tend to osmosis, right? And so if I surround myself with people that are doing $1 million a month, and that's their bare minimum, what do you think that's going to do to me, right? I am now going to become that person, right? It's the same thing. When I decided, and it was a very hard thing for me to get out of my friend group to then be able to invest in myself. I had to let go of my friends that I had in order to be able to level myself up. And I was uncomfortable. I had friends call me out. I had friends say that I ditched them. But listen, if you don't leave your friends now, you're not going to be able to win. All right? If your friends are not lifting you up, you have to, and even if it's hard, you have to self-isolate at times. Right? You need to surround yourself with books. Make the books and the programs and the people that you guys are watching online, that be your friend group. I'd rather you do that than have garbage come in, right? Garbage, nonsense. Listen, most of the world, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to get some sales calls here and we'll mute that. Okay, here we go. Most of the world doesn't want you to be successful. The way the world is set up, right? Distractions, calls, right? Social media, your phone, everything is catered for you not to win. For you not to win. And so for you to win, you need to detach from the world and focus on what you want. Focus on what actually matters in your life and invest time into that. And make sure that you surround yourself in those environments that is going to lift you up. All right? So those are the 3 things. And I'm going to be making a lot more videos to hopefully add value, right? Because again, if I can do it, guys, I was depressed. I was anxious. I was this very shy kid. I'm hopping on sales calls every day, right? I got to call this guy back. I'm pitching people. I'm closing people for 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. All right? You can change. I'm telling you, you can change, right? But you need to take the right actions, and the cost of you not changing has to be more than being uncomfortable. Remember that. All right, guys. Make sure to subscribe, give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.